Okay. So we're going to test this out, see how this is going. First live stream right here. And for you guys that are seeing this, I'm still trying all this stuff out. This is the very first time I've ever been on StreamYard. So I'm really just testing this out and seeing how everything works. So if it's a little wonky, I apologize. And the one thing I do like about this is it lets you mirror the camera. So my video looks a little bit better than it usually does. That was, I guess, one of the issues I was having. If you guys can hear me, let me know. We'll see how many we got live right now. 0. Okay, so this is going to be a live stream on another part of the book that I've been doing my book reviews on, Praxeology, right there. Volume 1 frame. And this is by Rhinestone. And it's actually a pretty good little read so far. I like doing these reviews because it's on books that actually kind of matter to me, and it's books that might actually help somebody. You know, that's the difference that we got going on here. One of the issues that you have a lot of times is you have these guys putting out books about red pill information, and it's not really red pill information. It's just kind of grifting to the point of maybe this will hit somebody that doesn't know anything about the red pill, and they'll buy what I'm selling. I'll go ahead and share this link out to everybody. Let everybody know what's going on. Masculine Geek, of course, he's tweeting about boobs. Nothing wrong with that. And it's really hard to get these videos and streams and stuff going because I have a lot going on at home. Like I actually do things with my family, and so that sometimes that takes a little long to get everything together. Like I just added on some more things to the chicken coop. Like just came in from the house, so that's why I may look a little dirty. Just added up some security fencing on front of it to kind of keep owls out at night and stuff. Because a friend of mine, he lost off his chickens to a hawk. Like they just come in. One day got one day got the other, and you can't really do anything about hawks besides try to keep them out. You can't kill them because they're endangered. So, I mean, I probably would, but anyway. So I thought about that. I also thought about owls. Keeping owls out of the coop at night because the chickens are asleep. The owls literally will just fly in there and just kill them. Like the chickens have no defense. So that's something you got to think about when you get chickens is how you're going to take care of them. But enough about chickens, on to the book. So the first book, the first video I did was basically an introduction talking about everything. And now I'm going to break down each one of the pillars in a video and let you guys kind of get more of a in-tuned review of what's going on in this book. It's actually a really good book. There's a lot of things in here that need to be brought up for guys that dads just don't do. They don't do anymore. And it's getting to the point to where they want to complain about guys not having a purpose and not doing anything in life and what's wrong with these guys, and you haven't done a single thing to help change it. Talking to you, boomers. Talking to you. And now we're getting into the Gen X dads. Talking to you. Y'all want to harp on millennials because you confuse them with Gen Z guys about all this stuff going on, and you don't do anything to fix it at all. So, just saying. So he gonna go and write a whole book about how to help these guys, and you're not doing a single thing. So maybe shut up. But anyway, this is on the physical pillar, and the physical pillar has to do with like your physical appearance, okay, and what you're doing to take care of that. And it says the physical pillar is the first aspect of frame where you become your own coach, where you lift right, eat right, and dress with purpose and style. How you look, what you eat, and what you communicate through your clothing all tell the world who you are. And the reason I want to say that is because 9 times out of 10, you got these guys that say, well, I don't care how I look, I'm a guy. That is a cope for not trying. That is an excuse for not trying. You don't want to take care of yourself, so you make up things. That's actually what's happening. And until you guys can kind of figure that out and go back in time and see the way that people used to dress, men used to dress, even when we were going into battle, you're probably going to get killed. And you took the time to get ornamented armor. You going out with a bang. And so nowadays you're too good not to wear cargo shorts. Come on, guys. You're too good to actually take care of your beard. Come on, guys. It's cope because you don't want to. But anyway, I digress. So he said, avoid sending a message with your physical, with your physique, physical health, and hygiene and clothing because you don't want to signal anything. Still signal something, and not in a good way. And I like how he says this right here. He says, from the self-respect you get comes options. From those options come authority. From your authority come expectations. From your expectations come investment. You can't put makeup on a pig, so don't be a pig. And basically right here he's talking about hygiene. And he said that there was actually a joke in 2000s about guys, pickup artists were showing sexist young men how to talk to women. The joke was two-panel comic on how to draw an owl. And he has the picture of the owl right here. Basically it says, draw the owl. Let's see if I can get it to focus. He says, draw the owl. Step 1, step 2. So step 1 is this little circles, and here's the finished owl. And then they wonder why people can't get it right. But there's more to it than that, is what he's trying to say. And as you can tell, I've been reading it, so I've got a couple highlighted things going on here. But he talks about hygiene, taking care of yourself, your teeth, brushing your teeth, getting them fixed. Now, some people like me, you may not, get into the straightening your teeth and everything, but you might want to think about that. And talking about your fingernails, keep your fingernails clipped and cleaned. Guys usually make fun of this kind of thing, but like at my work, we have gloves that we wear, okay? And the gloves protect your hands. Not really, but it's an insurance policy. So if you weren't wearing those gloves and you got hurt, they wouldn't have to pay you. So we wear our gloves, our PPE, and I started wearing nitrile gloves underneath those gloves. So now I'm wearing 2 pairs of gloves. You might say, why would you do that? Well, we deal with oil and grease and a lot of chemicals when we're working at the end of the day. And those splatter on you and get on your hands, and they'll eat your fingers and hands up. So to keep that from happening, I would wear the nitrile gloves underneath, and then my hands will look fine. Now, they're still calloused. Okay. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about it not eating my fingers up. So I started doing that, and a lot of people would sit there and make fun of that. Now, everybody at my work is doing that. They saw what I was doing. They said, man, I don't want my fingers to be eat up. I want to do that too. And then he talks about beards. It says, when growing your beard out, it's going to itch at the 2-week mark. If you have clippers, trim the ends at a 1/8 inch guard will likely be a perfect clip. So he's going into all these things. Skin, keep your skin good. showering. If you do a lot of stuff, you may want to shower more than one times. And then he goes into how to do it. This is sad, but at least he's telling somebody. Then he goes into grooming. If you have chest hairs peeking out your neckline, shave it or pluck it. It's pretty self-explanatory. I have a hairy chest, okay? So I trim it. I don't trim it completely because girls actually like that. People argue with me, but every girl I've ever dated made a comment about they liked it. Every single one. So cologne, talks about cologne. And here's the thing that I was talking to my lady about, actually. It's talking about the different colognes, and he has like 2 or 3 pages on the cologne part. Actually, I think it's 4 or 5. And in it, it says fragrances come in various prices with fancy names. The only difference among them is the concentration of the scent relative to the liquid. And he actually breaks down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the points of the concentration and why they're named something different. And I thought that was a huge deal. I just told her, I said, no dads are doing that. All these dads are too good to actually tell their son what kind of cologne to buy and the concentrations because they don't know themselves, because they're too cool. And then you stink. And guess what? The guy that she told you not to worry about, he cares about what he smells like. Now, when it comes to colognes, he kind of talks about, don't worry about, what's the best colognes, all that kind of stuff. Find something that works for you. And he says, wear something that's clean and airy and not too strong. Now, I had somebody that sold products tell me one time that she would put cologne or something on her wrist to test it. And if it smelled like soap, then it was probably going to rub off pretty quick on your skin. But if it smells like the alcohol content in it, then it will stay on you for a while. That's what she told me. So I actually do that now. I'll smell it. If it smells like alcohol on me, I know it'll stay a little bit longer. And then he goes on to the hair and shaving, choosing your fashion style, caring for your style, your stylist, maintenance schedule, all that kind of things to keep the cleanliness up. Home maintenance. There are tools of the trade, hair dryer, brushes, combs, and styling products. This is where a lot of you guys are going to start to cringe because you're like, oh my God, a hair dryer, a brush, a comb. Oh my God, you're such a woman. I have a beard straightener. You know why? Because my beard's going to look like if I don't straighten it. Okay. It's going to be out to here because that's the way my hair is. So I straighten it and trim it to keep it looking good. It's soft right now. Right now it's soft. I can feel it. And then it talks about the cleaning. Hair is an extension of your dead skin. It's composed of keratin and has a nice coating of sebum on it to keep it moisturized and healthy. Shampoo strips sebum away and makes your hair drier and more separated. Conditioner can rebalance the pH of your hair and add some surfactants to protect it and lower sebum. And then he goes into fitness. Do you even lift, bro? And he's got some points here. You gain muscle, lose fat. For codependent men, this is often the first time in their lives they put their own interests first. Hormones are impacted. Lifting increases testosterone. Your first attempts at boundary reinforcement require something valuable to weigh your time against. You cannot overthink when you have to focus on keeping that bar off your skull. And then he goes into strong 5x5 lifts. And I've talked to a lot of guys about this. If you're just getting in the gym, 5x5 is pretty much the way to go. That's what you want to do. A strong 5x5 program. If you don't know what that is, Google it. And then you can eventually get into all the other programs that he talks about on here. And he goes into full 4 or 5 pages on that. And then he breaks down the first week of lifting. here's what you want to do. Here's some good points. Leading up to the second competition, my test numbers were this right here. And with my weight and age, I was submaster, 242 pounds, weight class at 269 pounds. Okay, so he's talking about competitions. I didn't even know he was in competition, weightlifting competitions. Need goes on about nutrition. I mean, if you guys aren't getting this book, I don't really know what to tell you, because he goes into oxidative priority and talks about alcohol, body heat, carbohydrates, blood glucose, and through activity, fats, the respiratory quotient, and protein, which can be ignored for the purpose of fat loss. And he goes into sedentary carbs burnt and exercise carbs burnt. I mean, come on, guys. This is really helpful. Taking body measurements. Women are solipsistic. This means their decisions are filtered through their perception of the world revolving around them. It's not that they're selfish, it's that they are self-interested. The distinction is important. The reason I mention this is because almost every man who is dialing in his diet and fitness eventually experiences some attempts to sabotage his effort by his wife or girlfriend. Sometimes it's malicious, sometimes it's not. What he means is sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's subconscious. And then he actually has a case here where he's talking to a guy about doing it and what to do. And then he says, style speaks clearer than words. If you don't take care of your sense of your style, you're going to look like crap. And then on, it's about fashion. There's actually a large section about fashion. Now, I'll tell you this I don't want to like just rip off his stuff on here, because I want you to get the book. But when it comes to fashion, you've got to find your look. That's the simplest way that I can put it. You've got to find your look. If you don't find your look, then you're going to dress to something that's not really you. So you find the stuff that you're into and you dress according to that. Does that sound good? So if you ride motorcycles all the time, you're going to kind of dress towards that. If you're a blue collar guy, you're going to dress more towards that. If you're a Southern blue collar, that's going to be even different. If you're working in a city and you live in the city most, you're going to dress according to that. And you get your stuff tailored. Okay. But like I said, this is the first pillar, physical pillar. The next pillar is the intellectual pillar. Okay. That's a whole different mental model right there. Get it? Mental model. But we'll go into that in the next video. And then once we get to intellectual pillar, we'll move on to the next one, which is the emotional pillar. So we're doing good. We're doing good. Like I said, the book is Praxeology, Volume 1, Frame, Rhinestone. It's a very good book. Check it out. Hope you guys like the video. Like I said, this is the first time streaming on StreamYard. We're going to see what it does and see how it goes. I hope to do more videos like this. I actually used to have issues streaming with other programs, so I haven't seen any issues with this one so far. So maybe I'll continue to use StreamYard, and maybe I'll quit being a cheapskate and actually buy the premium version of it. But I hope you guys like the video. I'll talk to y'all later.